anh quý cái chung lịch phi lan vin anh quý cái chung lịch phi lan lan lo cái chi cái lê cái đun cái sinh cái kínen mà ô quan bion cái sinh xe sui sẽ cái phê lê cọc tin đủ sui cái canin đủ gà cái ốc đà kín lo nè sinh nhẹ phi chi cái chim victim nó vào luôn đi nè sinh cái lu xe lu chui bu mọc nè cái sinh lu sinh đủ chi bê bà menda lo gan le cái chin phò cái nơi fief galaji e ka kupsin kelin ketene le me chui bu mok le ka bachi le kwe asin ne sungnen ne fai kemchi le ka bachi chui bu mok ka sin lemon so lu asin lo ki yen ne ji be up to ji be ya un de fe di lu ne wan no wasin nui fe le ne asungnun kum kan ogda sungnun kum kan kani no kan chinten no gele diom sungnen gele diom lo sungnen no ka no olu na shi bek ogda ay me se fo lo me se bli kwe fo me se chok te le ani tong ne se ne no sombi di lui fele lo tong te ta nyam Roland igele wona kokofoi igele won kokofoi ge lu kelenga kia yasin ko moto e yoge aludi se suige ablo suige yilu kukulo kata ne lo affecte ne energy e wona choktin suintenge ludi ne kem ne se suige sera ka fa tong de microphone ilung se sungen le ne lo ge kar le konen ne we tong wi ne ge check-in nem nemen ne ten le sunguk se ka nem no lewe wo kok tong win wo se su ge relation no chin ten ne ge le ni fa wo ne ni fa le ne ni ge se jofa ge se ye ne ge chi ke chi ke le ji ge le sung ne ten di te lo line vi ne oko ambion lo ne esene mote abiligui. Welcome to Oko and Beyond. This evening, we have today Mr. Tayam Roland, and we are bringing him live today because he's vying for the post of National Public Relations Officer for OCDA. This position, he was nominated the other day by one of our top-ranking officers in the land. And he said, Roland has been into a successful career for years. He's a flexible guy. He knows how to handle the microphone. He knows how to bring people together. He knows how to communicate with people and to manipulate with recent technology. He owns that. And he's a lively guy. He's a young guy. But we want Roland today to tell us one thing. Your nomination came from Bar Sama. Your nomination came from Bar Philemon. Your nomination came from one of our exciting dads. It came from Bababa. It came from you name the rest. So today we're asking you, was that nomination coming for us to call for you today and you say no to the nomination, or you're coming today to say, I am ready for the task as National Public Relations Officer? We give you this moment to tell the world, to tell Oko, to tell and beyond that you're ready for this. And we're going to go into this. Before we go into that, we're going to welcome the people who are watching online. If you have questions for our public relations officer by nomination, please don't hesitate to ask your questions. He is coming into a position that is about communication, it's about networking. So if we have all kinds of questions, we throw them on him today. We're seeing him sitting on the other side of the studio, and we're going to place him at the middle so he can tell us exactly about himself. Welcome, Roland.
Thank you so much, Okwan Biyon. I am Tayam Djaff Roland, as you rightly put it. And I think that you've given me enough introduction and exposure. Yes, it's true. A few days ago, when this saga all began, we are struggling to revamp, to invigorate national development and cultural platform OCDA. One of us is senior statesman par excellence, Dadi Bababa, Kambi Philemon saw something in me, and he proposed, he nominated me, and I said, but look at, I did not even imagine, I could not think about that. But this coming from a foresighted, a clairvoyant elder like this should be something I should take seriously. So I'm not here to say no, I'm not here to turn it down, because nothing is sweeter than serving one's village, one's community, one's nation, one's country. So I think that I'm up to the task, and I accept it. I accept it.
Okay, thank you so much for coming up to Oko and Beyond, for acknowledging a wish from our senior. And we're going to ask you, tell us who you are.
Thank you, Kwan Bian. Yes, I'm Tayam Djaff Roland from Ibal, precisely from Bokibal, from Fukuk. Uh, I should say I'm an Ukian, like we say it in quotes. I'm from Uku subdivision, Bui division of the North region of the Republic of Cameroon, and I am a security officer. I'm a security officer by profession, a public relations officer by training too, and a seasoned, renowned MC. And I think that I'm a Christian of the Catholic Church. I am a fervent follower and supporter of our culture, our tradition, and I'm one of those who believe that the tradition is sacrosanct and shouldn't be joked with. So, when we are talking about OCDA, it's a culmination of development and culture. So that is who Tayam Djaff Roland is.
Okay, we're talking about, we're going to define this word public. What makes you think you can be a public person for OCDA? We're going to go in three phases: public, relation, and the office. So we're getting it one after another.
Yeah, thank you so much. It's true that we can, break these words or this phrase down into parts, but it's at the end of it, you see that these words have a similitude somewhere, similarity somewhere. Now, your question is about public because it is not private. So when we say public, we are obviously making reference to the opposite of the word private.
Yes.
Public because OCDA is not under the bed. Public because OCDA is not in someone's bedroom or in someone's sitting room. Public because OCDA is not an illegal association. Public because OCDA needs to be known by the public. And the word public here is not only limited to Oku public, it's not limited to Bui division, it's not limited to the Northwest region to Cameroon, but it's exposed to the world as a whole. So that particular aspect, that word public here, I think that it has several meanings. But in this context, let me contextualize it as regards OCDA. It's about giving it exposure or
Okay.
more exposure, because I think that OCDA is exposed. OCDA is known by many. OCDA is known to the world. So what I'm coming to do is not, it's as if I'm going to make some magic or to tell people what they don't know, but to give more exposure, to add to what the others have been doing, so that OCDA can go beyond certain limits.
Thank you so much for that response, and it ties truly with one of the functions of a public relations officer for OCDA. which is to project a positive image of the association, which you have just defined, that is not a private sector, it's for the public, and you put in OCDA, you be the one to put OCDA out there, the positive image of this association, and using it to relate to other people, which means that if we failed the first definition, we could have been going to the second, but we got all through with that. So one of the other functions is to publicize the programs and activities of the association through the press, OCDA websites, and other appropriate medias. How are you looking at this function in relation to the present OCDA and the OCDA ahead in your reign? The role of the
Okay, yes,
media
I think if I'm not
in
making a
your job.
mistake. Okay. If I'm not making a mistake, that should be Article 22 of our Constitution, the Constitution, and it's so Article 22 is so categorical about on the functions of a public relations officer, and you are just on the first point, publicizing. Now vis-a-vis the former OCDA, I think that those who've been running the affairs of OCDA did their best. They did their best. They did just what they could do. They did just what they could do. They gave OCDA the exposure to certain platforms. So what I think about publicizing, about giving OCDA more exposure, is just to add the number of platforms and to bring in other avenues where the goods, the deeds of OCDA can be known. Lighting a lamp and putting it under the bed serves no one any purpose. So if OCDA realizes a plethora of projects, if OCDA develops almost everything and no one knows about it, it may be good, but to a very limited extent. So as regards the press, as regards the other platforms like press conferences, the social media, we talk of WhatsApp, Facebook, and the rest. I think that I'm just going to look at what the others have been doing. Permit me to call them my predecessors, what they've been doing, and to see how I can add something new. Yes, it will not only be limited. It means that if they opened OCDA, if they exposed OCDA to 5 or 6 platforms, I should be able to take it to 15 or 20. So I will toe the line and take it to a better extent.
So what
or
you're
to a
telling
greater
us
level.
is you're going to take OCDA to another level or to higher level to continue with what others have been doing and to move it forward with more energy. Okay, so if that is the situation, and which means that your nomination came from the right quarters and going to the right direction, the same day that your nomination came was the day that I was in this platform. I was talking about this position, public relations officer, talking about the importance of this position, which is the key, because you know that this position, you're the one to paint it. You own the colors of the association. You are the one to paint it. When we do it in there, you take it out there. Before you take it out there, you polish it and you put that image there because it remains the positive image of the association. Ame sui ka chak tu ko sui gas in yote line win ne web sungen fen lo Tayam Roland ne tema kalenga we le gesungen se ogda kan het when chokange lu ne lob gage no sombi lob fe sakan na fen no li fe le ne sung nung kum ge kelen kele ke lu na kelen ka ta wo se fu se kan fiel manda no so be lu we se lo fu ye lu ne lo te men ni te lo te men kang ne ja fu ne kan ne kan be en ob ja fu ne kan ne da se su ge yi be wa se fu so di ne lo te men kia wa de fu so di wa kwa te ge on do ai so ne kan ne kina ne wo ne lob ja lien da no choksen lu ob lien da no fe ne be a wa ka li no li si dio ne se no sung ne fe le se lu li fe fo ama ma ka WhatsApp ge alo na yen wo ble we a ga ka no kin yen du so mbi se gui le ne ab sung ne lo ji i ba ne su ge no ble we se ne lu no si dio me ka se beef ge ka amnundun le lune ekege esin lo sungnen ko fi te bif te lete afief ne esin kete ne te bif ge ke wingwi se answer ngokse. I'm going to read it the way it is, and you provide the answers. My first question to Mr. Antanya is, how will you cope with your job and OCDA position as public relations officer? Note, you have to relate with other branches. The first part, I can take it again. How will you cope with your job and OCDA position as a public relations officer? Note, you have to relate with OCDA branches. Over to you.
Okay, thank you so much. Yes, I got the question. Thank you so much, Mr. Ngokse, for that wonderful question. No, it's all about sacrifice. It's all about sacrifice. I think that all that does not encourage unemployment. All that does not encourage foolishness. All that encourages employment for the Oku youths, Oku children. So it's just a good thing to be employed. And it's true that one's job may be a hindrance, maybe a deterrent to the exercise of one's function. But I'll let him know that the activities of OCDA, everything being equal, over 60% of publicity, or 75%, if I'm not making a mistake, will be done on virtual platforms. Over 60% will be done on virtual platforms. And my current rank and position gives me the ample time to do so. What does that mean? It means physically, in writing, in time, in everything, I have enough time. I think that when I was nominated for this, if I saw any obstacle, if I saw any barrier to this, I would reject it. I did not reject it because my job is not a hindrance to this. So that fear of his should be allayed. Yes, I'm allaying his fears. He shouldn't be disturbed about this at all. Availability is one of the qualities of a leader, and I think that there is enough time for that. To get connected to other platforms, I think that is just to create these links, to create the connections. When OCDA realizes, when OCDA achieves, when OCDA develops, I think that I'll just have to bring it to limelight. So he shouldn't be bothered. My job is not a hindrance to my availability, to my capability, and to my force to serve OCDA.
Thank you for
I'll be
the
available.
response and Ngok's answer. You got him right, and how he's saying, and he has answered the question. If you still have some concerns about your question or the response, you can put it on the comment section. And Tata Comfort says, good definition of public in this context, and says, expose OCDA to the world so that OCO will be known, and we have people coming into to create industries and companies in OCO, so that OCO can benefit. When you look at OCO, we have resources, and OCDA is an umbrella of our development. And coming in as a public relations officer, you're telling us that you're going to connect us to the world, connect us to people. And you're going to be working alongside other executive members and to carry out duties assigned by the president and the National Assembly. Is that something that you have concerns with, or you're ready for the task to work alongside because you find yourself in the middle? Will you be working more with the General Assembly, or you'll be working more with the National Executive?
Okay, thank you, Okwan Biyon. I think that it's so clear there is no organization in the world where the executive overrides the General Assembly. It means that the General Assembly is the riding force behind or of any organization, and OCDA is not an exception. It's so clear. If we're to meet in Bafusam, if we're meeting Bafusam on Saturday, it's because of the preponderance of the General Assembly over any other organ. It's because there are so many things that are to be filtered, that are to be handled, that are to be clarified, so that we understand them better and we get into the details, the nitty gritty of them. So it will be an extreme or a terrible weakness to say that as a public relation officer, I will sideline the General Assembly and work more with the National Executive. It is true that I'm part of the, I'll be part of the executive if I'm elected on Saturday. It's true that in the executive we have the president, the vice, another no hierarchy. This hierarchy, yeah, it is true, but the executive does not supersede, does not overshadow the General Assembly. Power comes from the General Assembly. The General Assembly can give the executive a vote of no confidence, and so shall it be. So I think that as a public relations officer, in fact, even the majority, what will be realized, what will be achieved, they will come more from the General Assembly. Finances will come more from General Assembly. Ideas will come more from the General Assembly. When we look at the population, the General Assembly has thousands of people. So I think that first, the General Assembly has over 70% of control over the activities of a public relations officer that I'm vying in. I didn't say that the national executive will be sidelined, or no, I'm part of the executive, so I cannot work as an island, I cannot work in isolation. So we pray that we're going to have a nice executive, and if things go well, we work in synergy.
Yes, thank you for that response, which is giving the confidence that you're in the middle and you're the one uniting these two sections. Because sometimes an organization may be in the dark because this position that you're going in for is not linking both sides. Because if the public relation is not bringing information to the public, is not taking information to the executive, then there is a gap, which means that from what you're saying, you're in the middle to blend these two groups and to give us that information that we need to be there at every time. So the people listening to you, they're holding you up to this information that you're saying, that if elected, they will not stay a minute, they will not sit a minute and say, hey, Roland, what's going on? You'll be the one to hit on their doors and say, this is information that is coming in. So they will be holding you accountable for this promise you're making here today. And that is exactly a good promise, that you're ready to bring information into the executive, take information from the executive to the public. And now sometimes when it comes to classified information, this is another situation that the public may really want information like now. And the person to bring out that information is you. And they run to you. And this information is still with the executive. And there is a need for the public to get this information. What do we do? How do you calm down the people when they need information and information is not coming as a public relations person?
Yeah, the image of an association is determined by this public relations office, and there's what we call scoop. People rush to give information. People wish to be the first people to say, I was the first who made this who gave this to the public. I think that's not one of the functions of a public relations officer that I'm vying for. Information should be certified. I think that I'm also a specialist in that domain, information, and even intelligence. I mean that beyond information, intelligence is more difficult than information to obtain. Information is known to everyone, known to all of us. But at one moment we go beyond information and we get into what we call intelligence, or the core renseignement. So it's something a bit detailed. It's true that the eagerness of the population to be informed, that is the General Assembly, is something we shouldn't minimize. But one of the worst things to ever think about, to ever do, is to give information that is not certified. To give information that is not certified. And we understand that there's nothing that's secret in OCDA. There's nothing that is encrypted in OCDA that needs some decoding. I don't think so. because OCDA is Oku. OCDA is comprises all of us. OCDA is made up of all of us. So there's nothing that's hidden. I think even if the executive is accountable to the General Assembly, even up to the level of finances, even up to the level of giving details how a bag of cement was bought, then I feel that there's nothing that can be kept that should be hidden from the General Assembly. However, your question is all about time. That it could be so pressing that they want to get information. I think that if information is not certified, if information is not confirmed, verified, and the veracity of the information is no longer questionable, then it will not be good for a public relations officer to give it to the people, because you will not give information today and in a jiffy you come back rushing and saying, no, this information you gave wasn't the correct, this is the information. So it will as if we are rushing over something and the rest. The Okuman is always a calm man, and you can see the length of time given so far for records, for accounts to be prepared and to be presented in Bafusam. It's also telling of the fact that there's no problem. However, if there's a crisis in OCDA, which we don't envisage, we don't think so, I think that as a public relations officer, there's that need for minute by minute update with the intent or the aim of calming down, of quelling down the tension, so that people, because at times we may have some misgivings, we may have wrong information out there, misinformation, mischaracterization of certain things, and it raises some thoughts, some questions, and that burning question to know something immediately. I think that as a public relations officer, you mustn't calm them by telling them what is actually happening when you are not sure about it. I may devise other methods of calming them by letting them know that the situation will be under control, because nothing about OCDA at the end of it will not be made known to them. OCDA is not a secret society. OCDA is an apolitical society, so there's nothing secret about it.
Okay. Thank you for that response, and we're listening and we're holding you accountable when that information is ready and it's not coming out, or when that information is coming out when it's not ready. So there are two sides. If you bring out information that is not ready, we'll come back to this video and ask you, why was this information half-baked? If we know that information is ready and you're keeping it, we will come back to this and say, must you keep this information before unless we ask? So we are taking all this into considerations and marking on it, and that's what is taking people into votes. Because come the 30th, in few days, we'll be singing the praises of a solid foundation that we're going to establish in Bafusam. And looking at it, and the nominations are coming up, and communication is going on. In relation to Bafusam, how prepared are you?
Thank you so much, Okanbion. Going to Bafusam, I'm not in Bafusam, just like many others are not in Bafusam. We shall be traveling to Bafusam. So going to Bafusam, when we talk of preparedness, getting set for Bafusam, is multifaceted. It has different phases: financial preparations, physical preparations, intellectual preparations, spiritual preparations. And many other facets. I think that there's nothing difficult for now. There's nothing difficult for now, because administratively I'm set. Financially, everything is okay. Spiritually, I think that everything is okay. There's no difficulty, and we are going to face the Okuman. We're going to face the Oku crowd. I think that it's not going to be a difficulty to someone who has faced almost, in fact, all the different tribes in Cameroon. It's not when I'm going to meet my brothers and sisters that I should be shivering, that I should feel any iota of panic, doubt or whatsoever. No, I'm ripe and rotten for the event, and I'm set for Bafusam. I'm ready.
Okay, bele ka one was in the fan line win, so effective singe Louis, Wayne ga, the soon Ogda, and do zombie. Leva chocolate a Saturday. She's bears again of sick. Yes, and you also win. Ge guys and sung nung ken lama balak. Nung town no ken we. Town no ken we. Lune logi le ko you ka bi ge hey. Ken no ki lule. A kwang we we a makan ke makan lege. We will le lule ne. Able ke sung nung lama kwa. Di ne sin yoge a logi ba. Fik te jiwe a lunatin. Fik te ge lu ma ogda. Di esen ko you bivege no lu chiblewe we ke sung ne luge lo vokte lo lamu ko ne vokte men lamu balak en lo gwi so we to go ken lam balak mo
ai gogla balaka jike ukambiyon esan one of ko ma ko ne lam balak lam ne sin yikan esan yikan se git lam ko ne lam wesen ne ma kwate ke ko dio ne ka ko dio ndino ne gelo ma lu ko dio gelo ma lu kana ko dio ne wayo ka san dio sun lam balak baka tamno len ne dio nyakan dio yusin chance ka shine be ne ko lu titin dio ne cha ogda cha kana la milak ne lusi be foi fana jalu baka wa sun ne ogda wa cha sa ogda wa cha no ogda ne min no ogda shin sene wa cha ngak sa lu no ogda wa cha no ogda face nam do wi fene war su cha sa la milak na sa gese ke na blam ke ne blam la parlu lam ne e chi so chilen lo lu ge lam ne lam kong mo te lam ne lo o akame jam su ge lo yime sun ne lendu tel kwaf lo lam ne lu ten yeke ke chi ke jim ne ko ne ba ta lu na ge sen sun la milak ne e blam jungo ba ka ne so lo fu ka ne fu ne ok da lege e son do la me ka la me kwang e lu ne fu ndo kon dun e sen ne be se ka li so entienda ka li so la milak kan fiel me bon ne lu ne wo ki se tel wana woni te me se bra la milak ki force le wo no to lu yeke no yeke abtaw e jilendu e fana baluji ji fo o kwan biyon agale fan gak suwi kena kasan no tan fiel lo me la kasan fiel ndu yelo la me Elizabeth tan fiel ndu yelo la me French tan fiel ndu kandu ngak sa balu
bele ka sen no yo wal wa fi si fani eten ele because okay te sen du ken lama balak. Thank you again for coming, and for those watching us, thank you for being there. We see Gibet from Canada, and the hosts of other people watching, and Charles Yengo is watching from Limbe, Illinois. And yes, thank you for watching. And we are with Roland, and he's vying for the post of National Relations Officer for OCDA. Come March 30th, we'll be seeing him taking the day and moving with OCDA to go to the next level. He's promised us with a lot of things in his agenda, like increasing the network of OCDA communication, how we reach out to people. He's going to relate with everybody. His background is rich. He has told us everything about his skills, his lifestyle, and how he relates to OCDA and the people. And one other question we'll be asking you is about your temperament. You know you're going to be dealing with people, and not everything you come out and tell us in the public we're going to say yes. Not everything we're going to take it easy on you. How will you handle situations like this?
it is true naturally we there are moments that you may not be yourself. There are moments that you may not be yourself. You may react and you say, look at how did I do so. But I think that with me and in this context, it's an impossibility for so many reasons. One, when I look at Ogda and I look at myself, who am I in Ogda? When I look at my age, my position, my rank, I'm virtually a nobody in Ogda. Yeah, in the presence of my parents, the presence of the fund of Oku and other title holders, other dignitaries. I think that is not. There's really no reason for a public relations officer to to be off color at any moment. So on that basis, I can't even think about it. It's true. I'm also trained in that domain. My profession answers it all, because I think that even as we talk, as we speak, there's something I'm undergoing in that aspect. Yes, how to face a crowd, how to face a rowdy and unruly crowd, and face and you bring them down with that force. So it's also part of my profession, and I think that I'll just be applying it here with OCDA, because it's not. There are moments that it's going to be burning. There are moments that it's going to be, hellish, but as a public relations officer, is just to say, like we say, actually, just calm down. That's the only thing I can do. So there's no situation, there's no instance here that I think. And at times it's also as a result of pride, and the rest pride. But I think that's never part of me. I'm that little poor Ibal boy, and proudly Uku, as always, proudly Uku. There's no gainsaying the fact. So rest assured, that shouldn't be a problem. I don't have temper issues, and I'm also trained how to regulate my temper. So on the two fronts, it's okay.
All right. So we are rest assured that when our tension, because moments like this in meetings, the public relations officer rest assures the public about information, because sometimes those tensions come because there's lack of information. And when information is being put out there, people have answers to questions. So the moderating factor is who we are talking about, the public relations officer. So you see this position that you're going in for, with this conversation we are going into, and all these revelations that are coming out, we are holding you accountable come March 30th, moving forward. If the population says, yes, Roland, you got this, because we got a lot to handle the temperament of people because of information. Because when there's lack of information, there's always something happening that people want to put words that may make meaning. But if with a good public relations officer, we will know that everything will be together, just like Roland is promising us that we got this. So what is your word to the people who are coming into this meeting on the 30th? What is the word to Oku? What's the word to your brothers and sisters? What is one plea that you're giving towards March 30th to the Oku people?
Thank you. It's just peace, in one word, peace. And we should be calm. Because at one moment, you see, it's somehow fiery out there. It's somehow hot out there. So it's just peace. Now, the paramount fund of Oku Fansinte, the Fourth, said it all. He has said it all, and his communique is so clear about it. It's for all of us. No one is exempted. There's no exclusion. And I think that if the fund has said so, then we can only make reference to that, because that's the supreme authority. His pronouncements are incontestable, So while I'm just adding my voice to that, to say that it's going to be an opportunity for us to showcase our culture, because I know we cannot just come to Bafusam just to sit and argue and talk and debate and bring ideas and vote and go back. No, the Okuman is always, the epitome of tradition, the height of culture. I know that the different cultural groups will be there to animate the scene, and the people of the Western region and the world will see that this is a people yoked to their culture, inseparable. There's that inextricable link between us and our tradition. So I can advocate peace, just like the others have been doing, that tempers should just get down. Temper should not flare. We should come down and come out en masse on that day to see how to adjust a good number of things. And lest I forget, I think that it will also be another opportunity for people to meet. Just imagine people from the northern regions, the east and west. It's also an opportunity for us to see our brothers and sisters after maybe a good period of separation. So it's just peace, and everything is going to be well. There's nothing. And Okuman is a peace-loving person, and we've never advocated chaos, disorder, any form of disturbance. So there'll be nothing bad about it. However, I advocate peace.
Thank you. And now you're going in to Bafusam for the meeting, to meet brothers and sisters, to talk, to chat, to entertain yourselves. And by the end of the day, it will be time for election, because that comes at the end. After we've had ample time to talk, to relate with people, assess what we want, evaluate, and it will be the time for nominations. And at that point, what will you be asking people to do when they call your name?
Thank you, Okanbion. I think that I will not impose my candidacy on the population, on my brothers and sisters, because an Okuman is too enlightened to be dictated upon. You can't even do that. You can't even imagine that. I will have a phrase, a sentence to make just to let them know that I think I am qualified. I think I'm capable. I may not be the best. It is true. Oko has thousands of fine and refined brains. A good number of them are better, even much better than me, I think. But I will let my people know that because of other factors put together, I'll be able to serve them, and I'll serve them well without monopolizing anything. And they will judge, and they will go in for the voting. So it will not be a moment for me to draw myself in with force, to impose, to hammer, to say no, no, no. I think that we cannot deceive our people. Our people know what to do, who to be chosen for a position, for a post, for a duty, for a task, for a responsibility. So it can only be an appeal that this is a brother of theirs who is willing to serve them, who is at their beck and call. So they should give him that opportunity to serve them selflessly, relentlessly, and effortlessly. There's nothing about it. It's not a difficult task. I think that, yes, I can. Yes, I can.
All right. Okay, we've all heard Roland is ready to serve the people. He's ready to receive our votes. He's ready to stand there for OCDA as a public relations officer. You're getting a vote from a promoter. K promoter says you are the man, Roland. Then there's another question coming in. If you are not chosen, will you see these skills? Will you use these skills you have to support the new ESCO?
Yes, that's the last thing I'll ever kill in me, my skills. And I've never hidden my skills. I've never hidden my skills. My skills have never been kept secret. That's why you see you hardly have an event in Yaoundé. Since I came to Yaoundé, you hardly have an event. Let me use the word an Oko event in Yaoundé that I'm not present, that I'm not anchoring, that I'm not coordinating. Just as I used to do in the years in the village, in Dop and in other places. So it is the skills, the talents. I can't kill them. Uh, Whoever wins has won for Oko. Yes, it's a victory for Oku. It's not a do or die. It's not a must issue. If the population sees something better in another person, if the population sees something nicer and greater in another person, I think that I'll always be there to support. Of course, emceeing, covering events, being a proud Oku person, man, has always been part and parcel of me. So such skills will not get buried or killed because I was not elected. I was not chosen by the population. No, no, no. If I'm not chosen, I will accept that. I will accept that there was someone better than me, and of course, I would like to work with such a person. So the skills will not be deadened. They will not die. I will not destroy them. And to lend support to the new executive is just normal. I think that we're going to revitalize. We're going to revamp OCDA, and it's only an insane, or permit you to use insane son or daughter of Oku who will not be supportive to the new team that we put in place in Bafusam on the 30th. So I'll be ready for that. Of course, I've already given myself to be part of the organizing team of the event. So voted or not, I'll be there, part of the organizers, and part of the MCs of the event, for coordination, and part of it. So it's not because voted or not. And I even believe that the post of the responsibilities of a public relations officer cannot just be. It can be, yes, we may have a public relations officer, but the task cannot just rest on his shoulders alone. There are moments that you have to sublet. You have to sublet. You have to subcontract certain tasks so that you work as a team, and then it goes. If I'm chosen, I think that's how I'm going to work. If another person is voted, there's no problem. I'll be open, I'll be dynamic enough to work with that person so that Oko succeeds.
Right, thank you. So rest assured, Roland remains OCDA, voted or not. And we are all together to build OCDA, to build OCO, and to grow. And those skills is promising. He got those skills. We are putting them into records. And when voted, those skills will multiply. So OCDA will go further. And you just talked about being the man on the microphone, like the MC in events, and this tying that much with your relations and public events and OCDA now coming into play, which means the senior officer that put in this nomination, he actually looked at it, and we could see you in one of the events that you were an MC in one of those events, and you were meeting with OCO people. You didn't know about this day that we're going to be talking. You didn't know about your nomination, but your style caught the attention of so many people, and people are looking forward to your nomination and to your acceptance of which you've done, which means that we're wishing you all good luck in that trip. It's a trip for accepting, to stand, to show to the world that you're ready to carry on this post, and the people have seen you. We're bringing you live because a number of people have seen your photos. They didn't understand if it was a human or superhuman or subhuman or how does he speak. And we got you with short notice, and we're here live. So viewers, thank you for coming. Thank you for watching. And we've had him live. We can see him talk. We can hear him talk. And we can see him agitating left and right. If he's agitated, we're going to be seeing that when it comes to the public. And we're going to test his temperament. So we're going to test all this because you're going to be working with a diverse population, and you're going to be having left and right. Again, he has said he has been trained in this field in a professional style on how to calm it down. So we're getting one additional aspect of which we're looking forward to one of the nominees for that position who has been trained in order to calm us down. And we're looking forward to that. Wishing you all the best. Say you're from Ibal, and people from Ibal, some are watching us, and all over Oko and out of Oko. So you accepting that you're going to be working with every person that is part of OCDA. Thank you so much for coming. Any last word before we go?
Bele ukan bion be kada chak to kuli fen bele ba kai bi olu ba ko san kan so the position is one of tawe lo yan kan na ba su kwata na san kan bele kam chokun me ifele gele tokundu gele be mendo no bo se chok de gele go kanam z fene asan ba so me fenan da bele na gele jimbele ko jim ge asan ko na ba fusta Saturday ye dom de no kanam ne ye dom de di nam nyanga lu dom de di sepke nam ba nyong se bine ne san ba se bine yofe na ko lu bele na bele chine se tok bele kana fo na ko se tawo vina ok dalen lege daga tawo ko ok dalen tawo fe belofon na belen talk so one abtawe wa organized ogda daily no ji lot je la kajun gazaka bele the incoming executive beka as an linda ka li na saturday din nda na gele lemon na gele bakle na gele sisa man iselu no linda no ne bakle man da tan se chiten we su ganda tan yele ganda tan ba lu kichin fene wala linda fole fele chimi ya fel chimi ya bakle da tan itim do kai itim dulane so ma sun bele the former executive bele woman in charge of public relations. I can call him the incumbent person. Bele nasi fele jono yem name. So esen Colonel Bafusam fenka wol mok. So before I run off this, I will not do this without sending a word of thanks to His Royal Highness Fonsinte the Fourth of Oku for summoning this assembly. He's the honorary president of OCDA with very vast customary and constitutional powers. And we think that when you look at this team, when you look at the enthusiasm, when you look at the unprecedented panache that OCDA bears now, is because of him. So I'm thanking him so much for that. I'm also saying a big one to the incumbent executive. Those have been the national executive of OCDA. We are getting to a house that they built, and I think that we can condemn what they've been doing in total. We can condemn what they've been doing in total. We should say thank you to them, because if we win on the 30th, we are just going to continue in their footsteps and just improving. And if possible, we may also improvise when it's necessary. I'm also thanking the Oko population. I'm thanking in a very special way Pa Kaimbi Philemon, the police commissioner, for what he saw in me. I did not see it. I could not even imagine myself. The little boy from Ibal, I could not imagine myself that someone could see something good in me like that. So I thank him, and I thank the population of Oku for that acceptance, because I've had a series of positive comments, words of encouragement, support, especially from the youth. Thank you so much. Special one to Oku and beyond for the wonderful work you've been doing. It's still a budding platform, and it will go places. Thank you so much for your impartial, neutral, and equitable nature or way of doing things. Thank you so much, Oku and beyond.
All right. Thank you. We've listened to Roland. We've listened to the call for peace, call for everyone to be in Bafusam, for us to chat, get entertained, and move OCDA to the next level. And again, Roland is standing for the post of public relations officer. And we've had him this evening. The reactions will come in the comment section. If you have more of those reactions, we'll be bringing him back. If people have some concerns, some questions, you can also meet us on our YouTube. You can also see us there, and also in our WhatsApp group and Telegram. You can get connected so we can continue with the chat, because when we leave the live, we go back again so we can continue. And that correction just came in from Ngum the fourth, and there was a mix-up in names when Roland put it up. We got that correction from Bantok Tumfon. It's so it's from Ngum the fourth. Thank you, Bantok, for watching and for being vigilant. And that's how we grow. We take corrections, and thank you for that. For coming in with that, you caught it, and that's how we grow. Thank you so much, Bantok. Bantok. Se kalinkatene. Di, as an name is Lake Freeland. So you go log kita beef, kino lesson ya. Success comment section ne. Law loop chile, Kasaka ngame Roland. Lune wali, Kafianga, Okwan beyond WhatsApp group, or Mactum no for. As in Chinton, Munus a Baslu, could no case an alien and do as in Buckler, as in Buckley. Ne, as in Buckley. Katongton, Lumyang, Lumimaton, whereas in the soon will peace ne Lukawu Quoselu, Nessin cheek energy as in a chinatin, the naked as in a name, a loss of all, log we, ne suiga a quo, numbi, Malo Sunandi, a Maca Namge, Ichigan laser sui, numbi. Yes. Roland, were you saying something?
As soon as listening, tell me, soon as listening, tell me, Kime, Mama quite no be war. My bell ban toxic correction for now correction with target for the foot. Can I have cause and can bell ban talk.
Okay. All right. Better Tyson Thiessen ne pretty me. So you get ne oko great again. Gonna rajunga ne no weten lune gila kanyakale kaka yoten gese yo no tene joffe yene ne ko fuyugwile fen lo no rajunga yegi plus fe ifele ne ko fuyi luitim igwi so we itim o ma beme elien do sombi ka wolo dintem no blewe ko boy esene bele no suige kolu lebechi nesen ko sui no no blewe asui lebechi na mota kan le lu chunda ne so as you nesen ngel lifo lo lu ne lu WhatsApp page esen ko nya kan do fo lu ne be ya chintengui ne sense Facebook page o ko ambion wo o chiafo o jikte ka fa nya kan fo ge follow o me lu ne esen ne kono kine na mnu blewe amnu vi wa sne na mnu chine ne asin lolu ko jovge ja bivge se chia ga ya o le lo fikte so na so fikte ni bame o ja ke na fikte ndu gi te mnu ble fo o ja ke fe na lu ken na lo wa gui ki reten lo to ki yel suige men lo yo karo lang sungen le ne gam na sui le ke na ba sui es melie menu sombi o ko kui bele gen ka benkin liquid line